Good morning, Senior Stoner fans. It's the Real Senior Stoner back at you on Sunday, the 26th of May, for your Carta E-Rig dab of the day. Good morning, everybody. Yesterday was an early day, right? I saw somebody out west was on really early. Thanks for joining me. Well, I want to talk a little bit about this and about yesterday. Those of you who saw know that I went to Fleet Week and the Jones Beach 2019 Air Show. These two things, and I have goose pimples talking about it, are two of my favorite things to do in the world. I've been doing them since I was a child with my father in the 60s to go see the United States aircraft carrier USS Essex, which is similar class as the Intrepid, which is a museum ship in New York City. Well, take you a little bit down memory lane. My son had his picture taken when he was 6 on the Catherine Walker, a United States Coast Guard cutter, which I saw yesterday, if you could imagine. My son's 31 now, going to be 31. So, I've been doing this a long time. Unfortunately, when I fell ill and got injured, there was no way this body, even with help, was going to make it to the pier or to any kind of beach to sit on a beach and watch an air show. Mrs. Stoner and my doctor got me set emotionally so that I could try this and push myself. And no matter what happened, it would be worth it. So let me tell you what went on here. All the things I talk about, I adhered to. I did a self-triage. I thought about what I had to do versus what I wanted to do. And I said to myself, this is a bucket list type of thing. Mrs. Stoner and I have never been to the Jones Beach Air Show. She's never been to a military ship before. So it was a true bucket list opportunity for me. And when we were on the way home from the air show, I said to Mrs. Stoner crossing Staten Island, I said, listen, this is never going to happen again. I'll never be able to go if we don't go now. She said, you can't do it. I said, I have no choice. I have to do it. I'll never get to do it again. Now, we were really fortunate. We found a team of people who were called medical assistant. They had golf carts, and they drove me the whole length of the pier. And that made it so I could get to the ship. It was not easy maneuvering in the ship, but I had my cane and I had help. And the sailors on board the USS Milwaukee were so helpful and so courteous. I just can't speak enough about them. Everyone I met from the military and the police department and the Department of Homeland Security, and I met quite a few. I introduced myself to quite a few of them on the way out there. I'm social like that. I'm curious about stuff like that. Man, I got to tell you, they had it buttoned up. The security on the water, in the air, on the land, and we hit it at a time where the security lines were all done. It was like the last runs of the day of tours. And we were the last people off the Milwaukee, the last civilians off the Milwaukee yesterday. And that's because I moved slow and I asked questions and things like that. But when we turned around, the tour had walked away and we were still on board the ship and like, whoa, I think we got to go now. But it was a unbelievable time for me and Mrs. Stoner as well. I can't tell everybody how much I love her for doing this for me because it was a real do. She likes the beach, but having me in tow is a whole other thing. You know, we had to buy apparatus, frankly, that would allow us to get me to the beach. Large wheel, those large beach wheel things, so you can maneuver. And my cane. But I got to tell you, what an experience. And I'm going to tell people who are in chronic pain like me. Sometimes you have to do what you want, even though I say you have to do only the things you need. Because sometimes the things you want help you get the things you need. That make any sense? This was definitely a want. But it was also definitely a need. I'll say it again. It was definitely a want, but it was also definitely a need. And you can't say that very often when the same things are occurring. It doesn't happen often. So I feel very fortunate that it went down this way, that I satisfied the need and the want at the same time. And I'm not going to say I'm never going to go back to a Fleet Week, but this one really scratched the itch that I've had. Let's take that dab of the day and go into our Memorial Day, further into our Memorial Day weekend with some cheer, some satisfaction. Because I got to tell you, I feel satisfied that I was able to do it. I feel like I accomplished something by going and doing these things. You would have, obviously, the average person would say, that was nothing. To me, it was like landing on Iwo Jima. Okay? I had a real war I had to deal with. Now, I used my medicine much more than normal. I want you to know. I'll be honest with you. I took double the amount of opiates yesterday I had to get through the day I was told to by my doctor. And now I have to get my knee back in shape, my foot back in shape, and my back in shape. My stomach actually cooperated because I took the pain medicine, and it dulled the pain and didn't make me have a real collapse. So thank God I was able to get through it and enjoy it with Mrs. Stoner. Once again, a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I don't think I'll ever be able to repeat it, frankly. It was such a wonderful day. Cheers, everybody. There's still nothing quite like the first dab of the day. And I want to thank all those military people out there, and retired military, and families of military, for your service to our country, and for the things you do to protect America. What I saw yesterday was nothing short of astonishing as to what the United States military has as far as capabilities, and I only scratched the surface. The people are getting better as well. We're sharpening the sword, or the spear, and we're being smart about it. We're not just sharpening the spear of the boat, of the ship, of the weapon. We're sharpening the best weapon we have, our human resources. Here's to the people of the United States military on Memorial Day weekend and their families. And here's to all the veterans who have served. Thank you again. God bless you. And God bless America.